Jim Lampley at the International Broadcast Center in Beijing at 10 p.m. local time. We are just moments away from the opening serve of volleyball at Beijing's Capitol Gymnasium. The U.S. women in the quarterfinal round, taking on reigning European champion and World Cup champion Italy. For the call, we go now live to Paul Sunderland and Kevin Barnett.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Italy currently ranked number 2 in the world. The United States at number 4. The 20th meeting all time. Italy leads that series, 12 wins over 7 losses. The first ever meeting in the Olympic Games. Both of these teams were 4 wins against 1 loss in the preliminary round. The United States second ranked in Group A. Italy, their only loss was a 3-0 sweep at the hands to Brazil. Quarterfinals, win and advance into the medal round, lose, and your Olympic dreams come to an end. The United States going with its usual starting lineup. Robin Amos Santos, Logan Tom, the 4th leading scorer in the tournament so far, along with Taiba Hanif Park at 6'7". Kim Glass now solidly in the starting lineup, and Nicole Davis is the libero or defensive specialist. United States, red, white, and blue. Italy in predominantly white. Italy, a very, very solid team. These two teams met about a month ago, but not a real indicator. Both coaches experimenting greatly in that World Grand Prix. And Francesca Piccinini, a real key, Kevin Barnett, for Italy's hopes, successful quickly on the outside.
Piccinini hasn't had great starts to matches. She's worked her way in a little bit, but especially against Brazil, just beaten on the outside.
Key for the United States right there. When the Americans get activity and production at the offensive end, in particularly from their 2 fine middle blockers, they have been successful.
The only way that's going to happen is with passing. We harped on it again and again throughout the Olympic Games. The United States coming to the tournament passing poorly has improved in the last couple of matches. That must continue.
Kim Glass misses that float serve down the line and out of bounds. The United States has changed its rotation at the perimeter quite a bit. The only staple has been number 15, Logan Tom, Stanford University graduate, appearing in her 3rd Olympic Games. Right side, Taiba Hanif Park. And on the sideline, Long Ping in her 4th year as head coach of the United States. And to say she is the most famous woman athlete in all of the history of Chinese sports is telling it exactly like it is. When she came into this jam-packed arena, there was a tremendous ovation. Beautiful kill off the outside block of the United States by Simona Gioli, 6'1", middle blocker for the Italians.
Gioli, the best middle attacker that Italy has, one of the elite in the world, both offensively and on blocking.
Left side, Logan Tom, first swing successful off the inside block of Gioli, and the head coach for the Italian Olympic team is Massimo Barbolini in his 2nd season. He has 6 players on his roster back from a 5th place finish at the Athens Olympic Games. Step out once again, Logan Tom is there to slow. Lobianco back again to Gioli. Left side, Taze Maria Guerra. Both teams just coming out firing and digging. Hanif Park out of the back line.
What a confidence builder for the U.S. side, making plays defensively. Rally of the match early on. And Hanif Park, wouldn't it be great for the United States if they can get Hanif Park rolling? She has not yet gotten back to that world-class form that the United States had from her in 2007.
Subbed out quite a bit in the previous couple of matches. Olympic rookie Kim Willoughby coming on and playing exceptionally well. Aguero, another stab by Davis. And that ball bumped out of bounds. Kim Glass trying to get a little bit cute there, shooting into the right front and missing it wide.
Better it is an easily handled ball than you're trying to make a shot out of it and miss the court. Just throw it over, give your block a chance to play.
Aguero crushing and missing that ball cross court and out of bounds. Teja Maria Aguero, 2 times an Olympic gold medalist for Cuba before defecting in 2001, now married to an Italian citizen, and playing for her adopted homeland. Logan Tom with just 5 aces, a pretty low number for a woman who I think is the most effective American server so far. That was through 5 preliminary round matches. A serve right on cue off of Teja Maria Aguero.
Aguero struggling mightily during this tournament. The last match against Brazil, absolutely put in the closet, unable to hit her way out of a box. Not typical for a player of her stature.
Santoni out of the back line, beautiful shot into the deep cross court corner. There's Teja Maria Aguero once again. You mentioned having a difficult time, but carrying a very heavy heart. She lost her mother, Dulce Fedora, at the age of 61 when she arrived here in Beijing. Found out immediately that her mother, back in Cuba, had become very, very ill. And then there was the whole issue of would the Cuban government, since she was a defector, allow her back into the country. She flew to Bonn, Germany, to apply for a visa. The visa was granted, but sadly, just as she was getting on the airplane, her phone rang, and she was made aware that her mother had passed away, and she quickly returned to Beijing. That ball off the top of the block by Nadia Santoni, 27-year-old 6'1" opposite. When we say opposite, explain.
The opposite hitter is opposite the setter in the rotation. They have limited responsibilities. They're not expected to receive serve. They are the primary outlet for most broken plays, and spike on the right, 5 out of 6 rotations.
Aguero missing that serve badly. And at the first technical timeout, the United States and Italy underway in the quarterfinal, the Americans leading 8-6. Women's quarterfinal between the United States and Italy. The United States out to a very solid start, particularly receiving serve. However, a beautiful stuff block by Gioli out of the middle against Taiba Hanif Park.
Italy hasn't gotten to the top of the world without being able to stuff the ball. Great reactions coming from Gioli on that middle position. Good positioning with her feet.
Shank pass out of the middle, and a lift is called by the head referee. In this case, it is Mr. Lier Francisco de Sousa from Brazil. Now, Italy has scored 3 straight points to take the 9-8 lead. Barazza, short serve. They're trying to take Danielle Scott out of the play, and she is able to tip the ball to the floor.
There's your campfire. The ball's going down. Everyone's warming their hands around the fire.
Nobody getting singed on this one.
This is perfect. Look at perfect circle. Everyone pull up your chairs. Let's get the marshmallows out.
Danielle Scott Ahuda with the kill, 35 years of age in her 4th Olympic Games. Working on Aguero. Santoni tipping and being rejected by Logan Tom. Her 14th stuff block overall in the tournament.
Logan Tom, a much improved blocker. The U.S. has always gotten offense out of her, but look at this hand position here. She taps that ball and brings it back in. Nice hand position by Logan Tom.
That ball killed out of the middle once again. Nice response from Italy. United States and Italy tied at 10 apiece.
Again, Gioli, a big weapon for Italy. Danielle Scott Ahuda in a read situation, just trying to react to the set, but Gioli is too fast.
Santoni misses that serve, and point in possession going over to the United States. had a chance to speak with former 1984 Olympian and assistant coach to Long Ping about strategy for this match, and it involved that woman right there. The Americans were going to serve Taze Marie Aguero every ball they possibly can. They really feel that she is by far the weakest receiver, and so far they've been working her. Bound, pretty good set left side, and Logan Tom with a kill. Sue Woodstrup was one of the most fundamentally sound volleyball players you would ever want to see. She could just do everything. Not a great attacker, but everything else absolutely perfect, just the way you would teach it. That ball into the top of the tape, missed by Scott Ahuda.
Good sign for the United States early. Logan Tom killing balls on the high left side in their last match against Poland, a 5-game thriller. They made it, but Logan Tom was a big reason why they won that match. She returned to kill high ball transition, point scoring balls.
Boy, you can see Italy. They want to just run Gioli, not at the middle blockers for the United States, but spread her out to the wing. Logan Tom, Kim Glass, and Nicole Davis across the line receiving. And he parked over the top right off the shoulder of the libero for Italy, Cardullo.
You notice the heavily bandaged right hand on Kim Glass. Her thumb, she sprained a ligament in that thumb a few months ago. It's been hit on the block repeatedly since, but at this point, report from the U.S. medical staff is that it is healthy. The players get used to playing with that type of thing after a while. You've been taping it for a few months, coming into an important tournament. You're just used to hitting with it, used to feeling it that way. Don't want to change it coming into the Olympics. So at this point, purely precautionary, and looks much worse than it certainly is.
And everything feels pretty good sitting up where we are, as opposed to getting it battered time and again by the Italians. Hanif Park out of the back line and swings that one well wide. Both teams similar in what they want to do. Long ping, good passing, and attack the middle. And Massimo Barbellini, exactly the same thing as well.
The other thing we know about Kim Glass is that she's tried out for America's Next Top Model 5 times. 5 times. And says she'll go back for a 6th.
They've gotten it wrong 5 times.
Well, I know Kim Glass is a pretty stand-up individual, and I'm not sure what you have to be to get on a reality show. It seems to me from the ones I've seen, you have to be pretty outlandish, and Kim Glass is a young woman who has her feet on the ground, firmly planted. It certainly has the tools necessary to end up on a runway.
Well, but if she's tried out 5 times, she wants to be on the show.
She says she'll go back. She says she'll go back.
A woman who won't take no for an answer. Logan Tom stuffed straight down by Barazza. United States led at the first TTO, or technical timeout, 8-6, and now Italy on a run, leading 15-13.
That is just a solid blocking move from Jenny Barazza, cutting down the angle.
Step out, Heather Bound smartly off the block and out of bounds. You can see Italy moving their blockers around. Eleonora Lobianco was all the way out on the left side that time, number 14.
A smart move by Amos Santos to identify where Lobianco had gone. Setters will, during the play, look over and see where the opposing blockers are. And the U.S. needs to exploit Lobianco whenever possible.
Only 5'8". That is a woman that the United States wants to attack at the neck. Santoni down the line. And Logan Tom very quickly out of the pipe, keyed by the dig of Nicole Davis. So tied at 15, opening set. The second technical timeout will be upon us after this play. First technical timeout at 8, second when a team reaches 16. Set out of the middle, and it's the Americans' turn to be a little bit late defensively. Opening set, as we expected, very tight. Italy leading 16-15. Quarterfinals, Italy and the United States. And a step out that time, blocked straight down. Heather Bound blockers there. Taze Marie Aguero getting right in front of bounds.
Great players find a way to contribute to their team even when the hitting, which is usually the primary measurement for outside hitters, is not going well. Great players find other phases of the game in which to excel.
The smaller Lobianco now in the backcourt, so no blocking target up there for Italy. Aguero ripping and finding a way to sneak that ball inside the American block. And now some separation between Italy and the Americans. Italy leading 18-15.
The United States in response is going to start making some changes. Here comes the double sub. Kim Willoughby, the most athletic player on the United States roster. Watching her play is a pleasure. She is explosive. Will come flying out of that opposite spot, and Lindsey Berg will provide a little bit different look and different tempo to the offense.
This smaller lineup, this is small ball now for the United States with Hanif Park on the sideline, and this group plays a little bit better defense, passes a little bit better, and make, quite frankly, turn out to be a stronger lineup because Kim Willoughby, after some early nerves, she started the opening match, just joined the national team in May. Not a rookie, 27 years of age, didn't necessarily get along with the last regime as far as the coaching staff was concerned. Reached out to a friend on the team, and now she is an integral part of their effort. Great serve down the line by Heather Bound.
Steady as she goes. Heather Bound is the player on the U.S. side that they know they can always rely on. She's going to hit a couple of good serves. She's going to be good offensively and block some balls. She plays match in, match out at the same high level.
Americans trailing now by 1. Left side, Santoni off the outside block of Willoughby and down.
Santoni off to a nice start. This is the using the hands and cutting the ball out of bounds during the last timeout. The Italian coach stressing that he wants his players to hit the edges of the block. Santoni doing just that.
Look at that lucky serve. Great save by Scatahuda to keep the ball alive. Piccinini off the top. Big momentum opportunity for the United States. What a great bump set. What a play.
That's the way to do it when you're running down a ball off the net. Put it on top of the net and let your hitters go to town.
I'm not sure why the Americans didn't have 2, if not 3 blockers up on what turned out to be a brilliant set. Scatahuda is blocked straight down, and it hit her in the foot. Even though she was out of bounds, it contacted a part of her body first. And so Italy running points right now. They led 16-15 and now have expanded. Oh, that's a bad call.
I think that ball hit the line and then hit Scatahuda's foot. That ball looks into me.
Good call, Kevin.
The Italian block now alive with 4 stops. And another number, there haven't been errors in a little bit, but the very beginning of this Italian run would allow them to start extending on the United States. There were a couple of errors on the U.S. side. 6 errors now from the U.S. side, only 3 from Italy. That's that pure technical form of volleyball that Italy plays with fewer mistakes than their opponent.
Both teams have been playing some exceptional defense, and Logan Tom much quicker coming out of the backcourt in transition. Teams coming back out on the floor out of the timeout. The United States now trailing 21-17. Quarterfinals. The winner in the medal round, the loser, is gone. Tom again misses that one long. Bang bang play on the outside just moments ago.
This could be one of those plays that determines the match when it comes late in a game. That ball right on the line.
Wow.
That is right on the line.
Good work by the linesman and the head referee, Lert de Souza from Brazil. Kim Willoughby off the top of the block and out of bounds. Taiba Hanif Park coming back on. Willoughby to the back line. This is a big lead. Remember, the first 4 sets to 25 points must win by 2. Croce coming on to play some defense in backcourt for Italy.
Yeah, Croce coming in, taking away the serving target for the United States. They'll have to start working on that outside on Francesca Piccinini, who's currently in the left front.
Left side, Piccinini off speed. Smart shot into the block. and then stuffed straight down. 3 women that time in front of Piccinini.
As you said, smart play on that first swing, not such a smart play on the second swing. Hitters, when that ball is inside, need to get their feet to the ball and go straight up and contact the ball high. Piccinini jumping in from left to right, hitting that ball down by her ear. And you can't do that against the United States block when they have 3 up. They are formidable.
Only the second stuff block in this opening set for the United States. So far, the Americans ranked second in the tournament in blocking. Italy only 8th. So that's a big opportunity for the Americans. That's a statistical category that they should dominate as this match rolls along.
The reception strategy, or the serving strategy against Italy, working for the United States. Taze Maria Aguero, only 1 perfect pass on 8 attempts. She has the most attempts. That's 13%. And Italy now passing 19% perfect. That is a horribly bad number, but yet still winning the game.
Taking advantage of some American mistakes. Piccinini on the left side, putting that ball down. Francesca Piccinini. Volleyball in Italy is the most popular sport for women, and she is one of the most popular athletes in all of Italy. Amo Santos comes back on. United States passing starting to break down, and Hanif Park misses in the deep cross court corner. And now it is set point number 1 for Italy.
Errors piling up, 8 errors in this first game for the United States side, almost fully a third of Italy's points.
Hanif Park, same spot, a little more topspin and able to get that ball off of Jenny Barazza in the backcourt, cross-court corner.
A good swing by Hanif Park. Hopefully that continues to roll in game 2. This game not over, but the United States needs to make some plays and try and carry some momentum.
Left side, Piccinini misses that one, or Nicole Davis does on the dig. So the teams will change sides. Italy takes the opener, 25-20. Italy taking the opening set, 25-20 over the United States. A look at the quarterfinal matchups and brackets so far. Every quarterfinal has been 1-3-0. Brazil an easy winner. China a bit of a battle against Russia, but they also swept aside the Russians. That was a matchup of the last Olympic final. Cuba taking out Serbia, also 3-0. So the winner of this match between the United States, ranked at number 4, and Italy, ranked number 2, will take on Cuba. A jam-packed Capitol Gymnasium, Baishi Bridge District in the Heidian area of Beijing. Completely refurbished in 2006. Has been a great home for the volleyball competition. Nice kill cross court by Hanif Park.
So far, one of Hanif Park's best performances, 5 of 8. Had an opportunity to talk to assistant coach Tom Hogan, who's saying that Hanif Park has had trouble sleeping. She is taking some heart medication now after having a procedure done this summer. Still experiencing some trouble from that, and taking medication to counteract some of the effects, and that medication messing up her sleeping pattern and sometimes slowing things down for her. And she's had to leave a couple of matches because of that. And hopefully her health is on the mend and she can have a great match.
Oh, nice smart shot that time by Glass.
And what a set from Amo Santos. Falling away backwards, manages to handle the ball cleanly up there to Kim Glass.
There is Taiba Hanif Park in her second Olympic Games. The condition you were talking about is supraventricular tachycardia, a fast heartbeat, and she did, as you mentioned, have a procedure. It was not open heart by any measure, but it was not minor surgery, and she still does continue to have that sped up heart rate. It becomes very, very uncomfortable, and she is absolutely a key to the American hopes here in Beijing.
Well, and for her, the world slows down a little bit. She starts to get kind of sluggish, and she needs to come off the floor and take a rest. So hopefully the United States can keep her on the floor where she belongs.
And she is right there, Johnny, on the spot at 6'7". The quick tap down after the shank pass, thanks to the strong serve by Kim Glass. Early timeout taken. The United States streaking to start this second set, leading 4-0. Italy passed very poorly in that opening set, still managed to win, and they did it because of unforced errors by the American squad.
Certainly 8 unforced errors in the first game. Almost a third of the points scored by Italy. There's no way you win too many matches or too many games when you're giving away a third of the points. I'm encouraged that the United States has come back with a run here 4-0 to start game 2. The question has been, as we've watched this team play, can they hang on to a lead? They are prone to giving up runs themselves, and that is the reception problem.
When the United States women qualified for these Olympic Games, they finished 3rd at the World Cup in the fall of 2007, and one of the most important contributors was Taiba Hanif Park. Italy won that tournament, and that ball hit through the block that time by Nadia Santoni off the right side. First set to Italy, 25-20. And Logan Tom gets that ball inside. The Americans are receiving very well based on what they have not done early in this tournament, particularly Kim Glass.
This is the best receiving I have seen from this team through the tournament. Kim Glass is being targeted. She has 10 receptions. Next closest receiver is Logan Tom with 6. U.S. passing at 50% perfect.
Gioli, great dig by Scott Ahuda. That ball set a little tight, but Santoni on it quickly and hitting it off of Logan Tom.
Santoni showing her range. The last attack, straight cross body, very shallow into the 10-foot line intersection with the sideline, and this time tight ball, wrist away off the block and out of bounds.
Hanif Park off the block and out of bounds. So far, in spite of the good receiving, the American middle blockers very, very quiet, not getting many opportunities from Amo Santos. Why do you think?
Hanif Park is working. She's 7 of 11. I think they should go to the middle more often.
6-2 advantage. The Americans trailing 1-0. And Piccinini off the block and just barely over the sideline.
One of the things that happens to a setter over time is as the passing is worse and worse, they get used to setting the outside hitters and get out of that rhythm of going to the middle all the time or having the option to go to the middle all the time. So that may be part of the thing. Amo Santos now in that mode of heading outside whenever she needs a kill.
Logan Tom and the outside attackers coming through very, very nicely. Logan Tom 5 of 11, and she is invariably hitting against a strong block so far. Hanif Park at 7 of 11. Remember, the first technical timeout will come at 8. And Logan Tom misses that serve long. Logan Tom in her 3rd Olympic Games gave the beach a try after the Athens Games. Thought she was done with the indoor form of volleyball. Beach didn't work out so well, although she did have some top finishes with Holly McPeak. Glass down the line, but wide.
Glass trying to take advantage of Lobianco, the small blocker, swinging that line. Sometimes when hitters have a small blocker, they try and force the ball there or they overswing. I like Kim Glass going there again and again.
Same play, same configuration, and a stuffed block by Eleonora Lobianco. So the United States was off to an exceptional start here in the second set, but Long Ping in a difficult rotation calls a timeout to talk about the options.
There's that run. The United States prone to giving up runs of points, and in the rally score system, you cannot give up runs of points. It is so difficult to come back. The runs of points have just become the most valuable thing going. Big concentration has been, especially for the U.S. men when you're in the gym with them, talking about giving up runs. That has to be the discussion going on the sideline right now. Don't give up runs of points.
The United States just moments ago led 7-3 and was just cruising. And just like that, one of those streaks you were talking about that you cannot allow at this level. 3 straight points for Italy. Lobianco continuing to serve. Excuse me, that's Gioli. Left side glass, and almost all of that timeout was spent in a conversation between Long Ping and Robin Amo Santos. Whatever they talked about worked as we go to the TTO. Quarterfinals women's volleyball. China-Brazil have it already advanced along with Cuba. The winner of this match between number 2 Italy and number 4 the United States will take on Cuba in the semifinals. The United States led 7-3, 8-6 at the technical timeout, and now that lead has all but disappeared. Glass hammering left side. Another brilliant bump. Oh, a facial delivered. What a stuff block by Scott Ahuda. And the libero, Paula Cordulo, one of the best in the game, just got absolutely drilled.
Cordulo taking one off the shoulder, now one off the head. Should be lucky to get out of here in one piece. Somebody check her for a concussion.
Last couple of years, they've taken some air out of the ball. Players are hitting the ball so hard, they wanted to increase rallies. Cordulo lucky, not playing with the rocks that I played with. Hanif Park off the block and out of bounds.
Hanif Park, 8 of 12. She's cranking. This is an opportunity for Amo Santos to start feeding the ball into Hanif Park since she is in rhythm.
Speaking of rhythm, Hanif Park 4 of 5 in this, the second set. The United States down 1-0. Quick set out of the middle. Nice kill by Barazza.
Italy is chewing up the middle. Their hitters now 7 of 12. So as soon as their passing comes back, that could spell trouble for the United States.
Quick set out of the middle, dug by Cordulo, making it look easy. And both liberos, that's Davis, exchanging brilliant digs. Santoni, that was a brilliant bump set over the head by Lobianco. And Piccinini doing a good job keeping a couple of very tight sets alive.
Piccinini dealing with some garbage on that left side. Cordulo covering her on that last swing. Piccinini took an ill-advised swing and Cordulo saved her.
Aguero once again, one of the best jump servers in the tournament. Oh, Kim Glass, that looked like a very nice set by Robin Amo Santos, and Glass just rolling that ball into the top of the tape. An unforced error. The United States had 8 of them in the opening set.
Already at 3, 10 points in. And unfortunately for them, Italy only 3 in the first set, only 1 here in set number 2.
Ace serve by Aguero, and now the run for Italy is 8-3. They trailed 8-6 and 7-3 earlier on, and now have come back and they're streaking on the United States, leading 11-10. The United States must get out of this rotation right now. And that ball served just over the end line.
The women's game is going the way of the men's game. It's turning into a serve and receive power game. And this American squad, their 2 weaknesses are serve reception and serving.
Glass once again, the United States 6th in serving overall through the preliminary round. That ball crushed. Amo Santos just getting a piece. And when it comes to receiving, the United States is 8th in the tournament. So that really puts them last among all of the teams that qualified for the quarterfinals.
And these are the types of things that give up runs. Serving, obviously, aces right away. Quickest way to generate runs, but also a quick way to generate putting your opponent in trouble and making blocking easier. Service reception, Obviously, you don't give up runs if you can receive serve. We've watched the U.S. men's team. The reason they're so good now is they don't get aced and they don't give up runs of points.
Tight pass, almost Santos has to save it, and that leads to an error on the outside by Logan Tom. Can never hit the ball out of bounds, but that was a tough choice, and Italy is really stepping up the defensive pressure.
Italy, a fundamentally sound team. Great symbiotic relationship between the block and defense.
Serving short, trying to take away the middle attack, and Logan Tom gets that ball off of Santoni in the backcourt. When is the United States going to start running the middle? They've been passing well enough.
They certainly have. They need to utilize it. I think that they are afraid of Simona Gioli in the middle. She's a terrific read blocker.
Left side. Good dig by Glass, and Logan Tom with an opportunity. Tom off speed, somehow gets the ball through the block of Simona Gioli.
A little bit of beach training. A high line cut shot right into the block.
Italy and the United States tied 13 apiece, second set. Italy won the opening set 25-20. The winner of this quarterfinal gets Cuba. Beautiful kill. Santoni on the right side. And we haven't talked about the setting of Eleonora Lobianco. Very, very solid for Italy.
Yeah, she does a nice job with the distribution, keeping the middle a threat. And Santoni has done a nice job of moving the ball around. That one coming through the seam. We've seen her hit angle. We've seen her hit line. And that's translating into numbers now, 7 of 12.
Still everything left side, and now Simona Gioli along with Eleonora Lobianco just loading up on Logan Tom.
Lobianco on that outside. She's the small blocker, but perfect position, just straight over. That is the Italian system. Don't make a big move. Straight over the net.
Between Heather Bound and Danielle Scottahuda, the two middle attackers for the United States, they're just 4 of 11, and it's not because of bad passing. Logan Tom with a kill, turning the ball back.
Twice in a row, when there's been a stuff block on the right side, on the left side attack from the United States, they've run that X1 play. That makes Lobianco move in and try and jump inwards. It takes away even more of her height. She's already a small blocker, so they move her and take even further advantage of that height disparity.
Lindsey Berg just on now for the Americans. Backup setter, the double substitution being employed by Long Ping. That brings Kim Willoughby back in the front court. Willoughby, 27, from a very small town, Napoleonville, Louisiana. Gioli. Gioli is just doing it right now for Italy. They are playing very, very well. And at the timeout, Italy leads by 2. Quarterfinals, Francesca Piccinini back to serve for the white-clad Italians. The Americans in their red, white, and blue. And Willoughby just crushing off the left side.
In my chats with Tom Fury, he talked a lot about, Tom Hogan. My chats with Tom Hogan, he talked a lot about the speed with which Berg sets that ball. Willoughby doesn't like to hit a high ball all the time. She gets underneath the ball, not as effective. As soon as that ball's shot out there, Willoughby can display and utilize her athleticism.
Logan Tom working the spin serve. Aguero just going high and flat, and Logan Tom leaning one way and can't make up the real estate the other.
There is Tom Hogan, assistant coach in his 4th year with the U.S. women. And there's Kim Willoughby. She's a lot of fun to watch. I like the potential. At 27, she should be around for at least one more Olympics.
There's Willoughby.
And you have to believe she's only been here 5 months, that she's going to get even better as they learn how to set her. Obviously, Lindsey Berg has figured it out a little bit quicker than Amo Santos. Just put the ball out there fast and let the athleticism take over.
Willoughby has played professionally in Italy for several years, as does Heather Bound, so they're very familiar with the opposition here late tonight in Beijing. Santoni sprays that ball out of bounds. as well as Taiba Hanif Park has played so far tonight. She's 8 of 16. I just like the speed and overall court coverage of this smaller American lineup. Right back to the same set. Dig by Berg. Willoughby on the right side. Really starting to heat it up.
The change of pace coming from Kim Willoughby does all sorts of things to the Italian block. They're used to having time to get in front of Hanif Park. Now Willoughby just comes in there and flies at the net. 4 for 4. What a start.
Aguero coming right back for the Italian.
That's one of the first times I've seen Taze-Marie Aguero stay behind the ball. She's in early, she's jumping up, and she's having to hang and bang, not getting the full momentum. Right now, she's going to stay behind the ball. All of her forward momentum is going to go into the ball. Jump, hit the ball. What happens is players get underneath, they jump, wait a second, and then they have to hit it. Gives the block just enough moment to get their hands up there and get a touch. That's what we've seen from Aguero, is the U.S. soft touching her.
There's a quick set out of the middle. Burr getting the ball to Taiba. Make that Danielle Scott Ahuda. United States, and there was Taiba Hanif Park coming back into the match as the double sub is unwound. I thought Lindsey Berg did a very nice job setting along with Willoughby. That substitution was working very, very well, but this is just the pattern from Long Ping.
That is just the pattern, but I would stay there.
Absolutely.
I would stay with Willoughby. It starts to work. You can feed the ball in. Berg has changed the offense a little bit. I don't like the idea of unwinding the double sub just because you put in the double sub. It might work. Leave it.
And if it starts to not work, then you can always change it. But right now, that group on the floor for the United States was really having a positive impact. The United States trailed 16-14, came back to tie at 17, and now we're all even at 19. Americans trailing 1-0. And Hanif Park into the block and out of bounds. Substitution coming on for Italy. Paola Croce, 5'6", defensive specialist coming on. And she will replace Taze-Marie Aguero and take the woman with the receiving bullseye off the floor for Italy. Croce, a great play out of the back court. Joust coming. Lobianco. Eleonora Lobianco with a brilliant save at the net. The setter for Italy going up and bringing that ball back onto her side.
A couple of great plays from the Italian side, and Lobianco, I agree, what a nice job reaching over the top of the tape and making clean contact with that ball. But nice job by Paola Croce, just back into the match as a sub and immediately covers the ball.
Hanif Park coming through once again down the line. So this set going right down to the wire. United States leading now 21-20. Taiba Hanif Park not at 100% physically. Right now 10 kills on 18 attempts. Big swing for Hanif Park, crushing off Cordulo that time in the back court. And a timeout is going to be taken by Italy.
Hanif Park, they put her back in. We disagree with the move, but it turns out to be a good one. Hanif Park is thundering the ball.
I had exactly the same thought you did, however, Kevin. Willoughby was so hot, and she was connecting with Berg, the backup setter, on the double substitution, and I thought, Long Ping making that change. But you look at the numbers, Hanif Park, 11 of 19. There is Kim Willoughby. She certainly did her part. She helped to steady out the United States when they were struggling a little bit, making some errors, and she came through with a couple of big kills.
When the United States has won against good teams, 2007 World Cup against Cuba, Taiba Hanif Park is the player who went off in that match and saved the United States.
Garahuda serving short, trying to take Gioli out. And that ball is into the antenna. Oh, it was off the block and into the antenna. No complaint from the United States from our angle. It's a difficult play to see. And blocking substitution coming on. Martina Guigi at 6'1" coming on to replace Lobianco at 5'8". Guigi will only be in for this one rotation. 22-21. Americans leading second set. Combination play crushed once again, but give Heather Bound a lot of credit. She took a lot of the defense with her.
Heather Bound and Nicole Davis. Nicole Davis handling that jump serve with perfection, allowing Heather Bound to be a threat at the net. This is how volleyball all interrelates. It's the ultimate team game. In order to play it well, you need 5-6 players around you that all play the game extremely well.
Piccinini stuffed on the outside. So the United States particularly late, avoiding some of those unforced errors that hurt them badly in the opening set. And now they're looking at a couple of set points of their own. They've got 3 at their disposal. Hanif Park has been brilliant. Lugenthal tipping to the floor. And this quarterfinal matchup between the United States and Italy now tied at 1 set apiece. Live from Capitol Gymnasium, the last of 4 quarterfinals women's Olympic volleyball competition. The United States dropped the opening set, came back thanks to a 5-1 run to close out the second set, 25-21. There is Long Ping. Still has a home here in Beijing. And Amos Santos, the captain for the Americans, will start things. Tied at 1 set apiece.
Paul, funny thing, sometimes statistics don't always tell you what's happening in a match, or don't always go the way you think they're going to. Game number 1, the United States receives at 50% perfect passes. Italy, 28%. Italy comes out with the win. Game 2, the United States receives at 29% perfect passes. Italy at 57% perfect passes. And the United States wins. So who says you need perfect passing to win? Not in this match, apparently.
I think the coaches might disagree, but I'm with you.
Oh, long term. Long term.
Yeah.
It has to play out, but it's just an oddity of this match. It's funny that the outside hitters are getting into a rhythm on the side, hitting high balls.
Glass now serving for the Americans. Tough float serve. Cordulo with a perfect pass. And the United States cannot follow up after that dig attempt by Amos Santos. Italy ranked number 2 in the world behind Brazil. Brazil has looked just spectacular so far in this tournament. The United States ranked number 4 coming in. Hanif Park misses that one high cross court. No touch detected. And Hanif Park has been so solid to this point, now 12 of 21. And for the position she plays and the number of difficult swings she takes, those are good numbers. Service error for Italy. Point possession coming to the United States in this best 3 out of 5 set quarterfinal. First 4 sets to 25 points. 5th set, if necessary, will be played to 15. The 20th meeting all time in international competition between Italy and the United States. Change of pace by Aguero off the right side.
Maria Aguero, known for her power, but she's doing things now to get herself back into rhythm. She's been getting stuffed for the previous match and all of this match when she's taking hard swings. Now she's starting to shoot the ball around and show her other skills to try and get herself some kills, and it's working.
Santoni nicely off the right side and away from the defense of Amos Santos.
Still, Amos Santos not using the middle. Heather Bound with only 6 attempts, and there have been plenty of opportunities. This is the best passing match the United States has had.
Is this game plan directed by Long Ping, or are these just choices by Amos Santos?
I believe this has to be choices from Amos Santos.
There's another perfect pass. Cordulo with a nice dig. Tight set for Sintoni. Quick set out of the middle, not there. That was one of the rare setting mistakes by Lo Bianco. Way too low for Jenny Barazza. You cannot be serving Cordulo. There you see her wearing number 10 in the opposite jersey. The outstanding libero. Perfect pass each and every time.
Yes, Cordulo is doing a terrific job. She's ranked number 2 in the tournament in liberos.
There is the step out, and Heather Bound. Like her body language, I don't know if she's frustrated because she knows the team's been passing well and not getting much to chew on up at the net.
Although in the previous play when she didn't get the ball, she took the opposing middle blocker with her. So maybe Jenny Lang Ping has seen something. Sometimes opponent middles will jump with the other middle blocker all the time. That's why you go outside more.
Tied at 1 set apiece. However, the United States off to a rough start here in the third. Back at the home of volleyball here in Beijing, the Capitol Gymnasium, the United States and Italy, third set. And Italy streaking here to start the third, on top of the United States by a score of 8-3. And Piccinini with the off speed, and that now makes it 9-3.
The United States looked like they had a little bit of quit in them. Heather Bound mishandled that ball and thought for sure it would get called. Immediately stopped as though play would stop. It did continue, but the United States needs something to change it up, and perhaps this double sub can do it. It did it in game 2 with the spectacular attacking of Kim Willoughby and the change of pace coming from Lindsey Berg.
Double sub once again. Willoughby was 4 for 4 in that second set and really keyed the turnaround. But as you mentioned, it's a team game, and Willoughby can be all over it, but unless the Americans pass and she gets a good delivery to the outside, doesn't matter. 7-1 run by the Italians, and the Americans reeling right now in the third set. Trying to listen in to the American huddle. Move your feet, pass the ball, 1 point at a time.
Simple stuff.
Yep.
Simple stuff for the American side. Everything else is keyed off the pass. Just take care of that, one thing at a time.
Great dig by Aguero in the backcourt for Italy. And Piccinini doing a wonderful job over the top of the block and away from Kim Glass, and now Italy just all over the Americans, 11-3.
Not a good sign for the Americans that Taze Marie Aguero, her offense has come around. She's continuing to make plays in other phases, and if the other outside hitter, Piccinini, gets hot, the United States could quickly be out of this game 3.
Piccinini in double figures now with 10 kills. Great serve by Logan Tom, beating Cordulo down the line, and you don't see that very often at all.
That was a perfect serve. Anything tight to the line within a foot is simply perfect.
Timing not there. The United States with a chance for back-to-back points. Logan Tom can't get it past Cardullo. Piccinini crushing that ball off of glass. Now the outside attackers, Aguero and Piccinini, are really starting to bookend and hold that American defense at bay. Right side Willoughby, another sprawling save by Aguero. Santoni out of the back line. Brilliant play by the Italians.
The Italians are simply making more plays. They're digging balls. They're in better positions defensively and at the net. And the rallies are going longer, and the Italians' technical capabilities are winning points.
Paolo Cardullo, a couple of magnificent defensive saves that time for Italy. Tough jump serve. Gioli on the step out. Berg is all over that. And Willoughby's able to get that ball down. Very nice bump set that time by middle blocker Heather Bound.
Heather Bound, simply that steady presence. She can do it all. She's been playing the international game for a long, long time. And you know that if she has to handle a ball, she's going to make good choices. That's what veteran players do.
Jen Joins, very talented backup middle blocker, just called down to the coach's position by Long Ping. Expect to see her in the match. Another kill off the outside by Italy. They led 8-3 to start this second set, led 13-5, mostly on the strong right arm of Francesca Piccinini. Now back to serve. Straight down that time by Danielle Scott Ahuda.
A rare attempt for Ahuda, only 8 swings over 3 sets. Not what the Americans want to see. And you mentioned the outside hitters for Italy. Now 46% kill percentage between them.
After a very slow start, particularly by Aguero. Tight set, and Aguero just crushing down the line against Willoughby.
Slow start, but now on fire. Finally, the real Taze Maria Aguero showing up for the Italian side. She has been absent.
Aguero again. Great dig by Davis. Oh, what a set that time by Logan Tom. What a brilliant back set. The most versatile player on the American team, just showing you a great dish going in the other direction.
Again, time on the beach paying dividends. A little bit different game, but have to set a lot of balls in the 2-person game. Logan Tom showing off her new skills.
Tied at 1 set apiece. Americans trailing 15-8. Aguero crushing cross court, and that gets us to the second technical timeout. It has been all Italy so far here in the third. They lead the United States 16-8.
The games of the 29th Olympiad on NBC are brought to
Italy just streaking points right now against the United States in this, the last quarterfinal of the evening. It is 5 after 11 local time. But Italy playing as if they just got started. The kill by Danielle Scott Ahuda. Italy leading 17-9.
The passing numbers continuing to be completely backwards. Italy at 11% perfect, but their outside hitters are just devastating. United States at 60% perfect, but of course down by 8 points. The Italian hitters 62% conversion rate right now to 22 on the American side.
Barazza out of the middle. The strategy for the United States: serve short into the middle blocker, so Barazza just passes that ball and puts it away. All Italy right now here in the third set.
I like that strategy to serve the middle blockers until the outsides are hot. Then you have to make the outsides work.
Step out by Heather Bound, a rare kill for the fine American middle blocker, now just 3 of 11. The United States showing an awful lot of respect for the middle blockers of Italy, not going at them one-on-one. Play out of the middle, stuffed by Bound. So it may be too little too late for the United States to win this set. But again, you start from scratch going on to the next. They have to start playing better right now.
It may be. They're going to need to play well on their side of the net. They're going to need some errors from Italy.
And Lindsey Berg once again, as she and Kim Willoughby came in the double substitution in the previous set, lighting it up again. Lindsey Berg coming in as the backup setter, dialing up an ace and moving the ball around and giving the United States a bit of a spark. They still trail, however, 18-12 here in the third.
It wouldn't surprise me to see the return of Paola Croce on the Italian side to stabilize that service reception. As soon as Taze Maria Aguero
maybe one more rotation. I think you're exactly right. Croce was very, very reliable. There she is, defensive specialist. Berg once again, pretty tough jumper. Santoni, one swing into the block and then another, and puts it away.
Santoni has been downright steady. There have been several balls that she just needed to kill as Paola Croce continues to cool her heels.
11 kills now for Santoni. Barazza back to serve. Left side Willoughby, inside of Gioli and off of Piccinini.
Kim Willoughby is about as close to a Cuban-style hitter that the Americans have seen in some time. Athletic, terrific arm, does a nice job moving the ball around. They have to be extremely positive about having her on this team and in the program.
And Santoni once again, kind of unheralded, plays the opposite, a very, very versatile player. And most of the headlines going elsewhere, but she has really been solid.
Yeah, just steady production, 12 of 24, 50%. Those are great numbers from your opposite spot.
Big lead for Italy. This match tied at 1 set apiece. Italy took the opening set 25-20. That ball served out of bounds. The Americans came right back, won the second set 25-21. Simona Gioli back up front. Outstanding middle blocker for Italy. Bound serving has been a strong rotation for the Americans. Logan Tom out of the back line, dug by Aguero. And Santoni with a rare unforced error. So the United States taking advantage, starting to make a little bit of a move. Most likely too late. Again, points scored every time the ball is put into play. And to 25 points. Bound serving once again. Step out by Gioli. Willoughby off the right side, and that is a lift call. So back-to-back points, and I would not be at all surprised. Yep, there it is. Massimo Barbolini calling a timeout, and both teams headed to the sideline.
So Danielle Scott-Ahuda not getting a lot of opportunities to contribute offensively, not getting a ton of stuff blocks, but she is doing a terrific job getting control blocks. That's a statistic the United States will keep. Not available through our statistical system, but they keep that stat because it is all important. You may not be getting the raw points, but you are probably getting, and I see Danielle Scott getting lots of blocks where the ball comes off the top of the hands for an easy play for a back row defender. That is a control block.
Danielle Scott-Ahuda first joined the U.S. national team in 1994. One of the most distinguished careers in the history of women's international volleyball. Her husband Eduardo, a former Brazilian coach and national team player. That is Eduardo Arruda. Danielle has played in Japan, Italy, and in Brazil, and currently still plays for a club in Sao Paulo. Step out, Gioli. Oh, that ball's got to come up. Tough chance for Scott Arruda.
That's just nice ball placement by Gioli. That backslide move. Willoughby not expected to come all the way across the net. There really is just no one there to handle that ball.
So blocking substitution coming back on. Guigi back on. And Lobianco at 5'8" headed to the sideline. Piccinini now serving for Italy, comfortably on top, 21-16. Tough chance for Glass. Had to do a lot of running, but takes a very good swing off the outside block and down. Lobianco immediately back in. And once again, Long Ping unwinding this double substitution, and she will give Willoughby a chance to serve, signaling out to Kim Willoughby, the area of the court. There is Taiba Hanif Park coming back on.
I'm surprised that Kim Willoughby isn't hitting a hard jump serve. With her athleticism and her arm, she should be pounding the jump serve the way we watch the Cubans do with Yanelis Santos.
Aguero hits that ball out of bounds, but a touch detected. So as much as Aguero was struggling against Brazil a couple of days ago in their final preliminary round match, and early in this match, as Willoughby goes to the sideline and the double sub is completely unwound. Amos Santos in the backcourt, Hanif Park in the front court. Aguero, everything going her way right now. Quick set to Scott Arruda, crushed to the floor.
Now hopefully Jenny Lang Ping has had a little bit of a chat with Amos Santos and said get the ball into the middle and become a threat. Scott Arruda now 4 for 4 in game 3. That is an important part of the U.S. attack.
Aguero, beautiful shot off the 3-woman block deployed by the United States, just looking to hit the ball off the top of the hands.
That's a bad sign for the Americans and a welcome sign for the Italians. Taze Maria Aguero turning back into herself.
Tight set, Logan Tom making do. Boy, big heat that time from Logan Tom. One set too tight, this one in the rally, almost 3 meters off the net.
I like what she did on this play. She closes back to her right, going backwards, but still generates forward momentum into the ball. There's a drill you do with young players. You have them stand and toss the ball anywhere around them. Make them close their feet to the ball and go straight up. It's for exactly that purpose.
Aguero crushing down the line. Taze Marie Aguero now with 11 kills. 7 of those coming here in the third set.
Welcome back, Taze Marie. Welcome to Beijing. This is the first we have seen of the true Taze Marie Aguero.
Timeout is taken by the United States, and it is set point for Italy, and they will have 5. They lead 24-19. In the first set, lost by the United States, it was 8 unforced errors. In this, the third set, which is going to break this 1 set apiece tie, it has been the play of Taze Marie Aguero and Francesca Piccinini, the left side attackers for Italy. Set point number 1 for Italy. Pipe set to Glass. Cordulo with a spectacular dig once again. And that ball cannot be saved. I'll tell you, Italy must be spending some time on the beach because they bump set the ball better than any team in this tournament. Italy now up 2 sets to 1. They take the third, 25-19. Quarterfinals women's Olympic volleyball tournament. The United States, currently ranked #4, taking on Italy at #2. Italy looked all of the second best team in the world in that third set, winning at 25-19.
Yeah, a disjointed match so far. Game number 1, United States errors, Italy wins. Game number 2, United States plays better, they win. Game number 3, Italy steps it up and just takes out the United States. Nothing that the United States did poorly, just that Italy was that good.
Kill out of the middle by Scatahuda. A look at the quarterfinal brackets. 3 matches have already been played. Brazil over Japan. China defeated Russia. Cuba over Serbia. All of those quarterfinal matches won in 3-set sweeps. And of course, the winner of this match takes on the women from Cuba, the bronze medalists from the Athens Olympic Games. Prior to that, 3 state gold medals. Scatahuda with a tap down. Good start for the Americans here in the 4th set.
Beautiful turn from Scatahuda. I love that sharp wrist away angle.
Oh, smart shot that time by Aguero. Just palms to the ceiling. That ball's got to come back up, but good blocking work by the United States and a very early timeout taken by Italy.
Just to keep everyone at home updated on the numbers. Game 3, 71% perfect passes from the United States, who lost. Italy passing at 10% perfect. However, 15 kills coming from the 2 outside hitters. That is a remarkable number from 2 players.
That is Francesca Piccinini and Taze Marie Aguero for Italy, 8-7 respectively. Italy coming out, and the United States leading 3-0, but trailing 2-1. This is the first ever meeting between these 2 teams at the Olympic Games. Just a 3rd appearance overall by the Italian women. Stuff block against Gioli on the outside.
Nice start. Lindsey Berg keen to start with her jump serving. Getting the start in game 4. That could be the critical switch the U.S. was looking for.
2 very capable setters on this U.S. team. Ace serve. Loves the cross court. And Berg, an ace in the latter stages of the previous set. Really, the set was already over, but this very, very meaningful. Great start for the Americans. Tight pass, the joust coming. That's going to be a lift. And Lindsey Berg just ripping jump serves. And again, Italy out of timeouts. That's their 2nd team timeout. So play will be stopped at 8-16 for the TTO, but Italy going early.
So Italy left with no way to break the momentum. The U.S. just needs to keep it on their side. Kudos to Lindsey Berg for not only hitting some hard serves, but hitting them in repeatedly and bringing the American contingent to its feet.
Lindsey Berg, who started out her athletic career as a tennis player like her mother, then switched to volleyball, grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii, and went to school in Minnesota. But there is nothing cold about the way she is serving the ball. What a difference maker. Another tight pass. Berg is there and forces a net violation. Look at this at the first technical timeout. Thanks to the tremendous play of Lindsey Berg, the United States leads Italy 8-0. Capitol Gymnasium, the United States off to a brilliant start here in the 4th set. They led 8-0. Service error, unforced hitting error. And Italy now has a couple on the board, and Logan Tom with that kill out of the pipe. The United States leading 9-2.
United States looking good. Time for a little dancing and bumping in the box. Nice to see the players in the box celebrating and being into the match.
This is a very experienced, deep American team. 8 players back from the Athens Olympic Games, and now a couple of service errors. This one by Glass. Quick set and off of Barazza and out of bounds.
Okay, the middle getting utilized a bit more. Scott-Ahuda getting more opportunities, which she needs. We said before, talking about this U.S. team, that they need 40 attempts out of the middle. Certainly, if this is going to go 5 games, they need to have at least that many.
Quick set again. Excellent bump set that time by Kim Glass. Logan Tom with the kill. She has to hit under so much pressure, always on the left side, usually facing 2 blockers. Logan Tom now with a dozen kills. And remember, Massimo Barbolini used his 2 timeouts, used the second one at 6. So he can't stop this. The technical timeout comes at 16. Oh, there's another one of those. What a
Perfect
set.
Bump sets. What a set. Wow. We've seen a couple of great bump sets from both sides.
Eleonora Lobianco in her 3rd Olympic Games, and all of that spin on the ball, that was by design to carry it closer to the net. Bound, crushing cross court. The Americans now leading 12-4 in the 4th.
Lindsey Berg doing a nice job utilizing both American middle hitters, turning them from middle blockers back into middle hitters.
No question, Lindsey Berg has been the key to the turnaround. Hanif Park has been solid throughout. Berg with 3 aces in part-time play. Piccinini off the left side.
Those outside hitters carried Italy to their victory in Game 3. I think they're going to have to carry him back here in Game 4. They're going to have to keep going to that outside.
But what does the United States do to slow them down? Seemingly they're getting just slow high sets to the outside. Bound, crushing there. So if you've got 2 red-hot outside attackers, what do the Americans do?
Serve them short. And since you don't have to key on the middle, just worry about going pin to pin from the middle position. Bound and Scott-Ahuda don't have to worry about middle attack too much. Focus on the outside, get there earlier, get over.
Logan Tom back to serve. The United States went out to an 8-0 lead and are currently way on top of Italy, 13-5. And that tip is right on the sideline.
Kim Glass running at the ball. She was in position to make a diving play. I don't know if she thought Hanif Park was going to come in there or what, but she needs to run through that ball because she would have had it.
Couple of substitutions coming on. Francesca Ferretti on for the first time. Have not seen her at all. She will come in and serve.
Now this is the way the coach can slow the match down a little bit. We'll see some subs just to slow the match down in place of timeouts. The coaches don't have timeouts.
Bound having to tip. Left side, Aguero is stuffed straight down. The Americans just rolling, looking like a completely different team that was beaten soundly in that 3rd set, 25-19.
So the pendulum has swung. Game 1 to Italy, 25-20. Game 2, 25-21. And a beating that Italy put on the United States in Game 3. And now the United States returning the favor. This is how volleyball works sometimes, just back and forth.
And mostly because of the great play, serving and setting by Lindsey Berg. Gioli.
I expected Gioli to be a bigger factor in this match, and she just has been quiet.
Serena Ortolani also in number 11. United States still doubling up on Italy. Easy float serve. Step out, Scott-Ahuda. Very nice footwork.
And I see the middles driving harder in their approaches now. They know they're going to get the ball more often. They drive a little bit harder. hit the ball a little bit harder, a little bit higher.
Berg back at the line. Did her job at the very beginning of this set, and her last 2 service attempts, one into the net and this one carrying long. 1 point away from the second technical timeout. Logan Tom out of the pipe, and Piccinini can't make the play defensively. So the United States getting the job done here in the 4th, trailing 2-1, up 16-8. Huge crowd on hand, as there was for the previous quarterfinal when China defeated Russia 3-0. And a good one going at 11:30 Beijing time, that is p.m. And crushed down the line that time. Beautiful kill by Serena Ortolani. Oh, I just got a call from the truck. I said 11:30. It's actually 11:37. It's a little bit later. So late into the night, Italy and the United States battling for the right to meet Cuba in the semifinals. Quick set, connection not there. The ball does, however, get to the floor. Great save that time by Scatahuda.
Great strategy change by Lindsey Berg to start utilizing those middles. I saw just before the technical timeout the pipe attack from Logan Tom. I think there should be a lot more of that from both Kim Glass and Logan Tom, because now those middles are a threat, especially on the back slide. The left front blocker is kicking all the way out, and Taze Marie Aguero was practically on the bench on her way to the technical timeout when Logan Tom was contacting that pipe. She was not bunched at all and not participating on the block. So the middle of that net is just wide open.
Aguero very, very busy in set number 3, but so far only 2 kills here in set number 4. Bound off the block and out of bounds. And now the middle hitters, Heather Bound and Danielle Scatahuda. We talked about it before the match, Kevin. They had to have big numbers. They weren't getting many opportunities early, but later on, particularly in this 4th set, they're lighting it up.
All of a sudden, they're up to 32 attempts between them.
Quickly to the outside, 3 blockers there against Piccinini, but she just disregards that and puts the ball to the floor.
And there you see a ball in tempo. The U.S. still with 3 blockers. That's done because the U.S. is not concerned about the middle attack. They are concerned about the left side.
Glass, nice recovery. Stuffed straight down. Logan Tom making some pretty nice choices, keeping those balls in play off the left side.
She is, and her blocking so much improved. Again, some of those beach reps, having to make one-on-one blocking moves all the time on the beach. She has come back to the indoor game a better blocker and contributing to the United States in a whole new way.
19-11 now is the advantage for Long Ping and the United States over Italy. Kim Willoughby on right now. The block in the front court, replacing Lindsey Berg, and that ball served out of bounds. And Amos Santos will come on as part of the double substitution.
Inside out, I'd like to see a bit more pipe. Even on a broken play 5 or 6 rallies ago, Kim Glass got a pipe opportunity where no one else could even attack, and there was only 1 blocker up.
The pipe again, the area right up the middle, out of the backcourt. Much utilized in the men's game and more so in the women's game. Willoughby, beautiful swing off the right side. How tough is that? Right off the bench, and a beautiful high rhythm hard swing.
Well, Kim Willoughby's feeling it in this match. She is ready to go. 9 of 14. Spectacular numbers.
Left side, Piccinini finding the deep cross-court corner. A world-class outside attacker, Francesca Piccinini, 6'1", 29 years of age, in her second Olympic Games.
And a crossover star in Italy. Popular for not only her spectacular volleyball play, but also her looks.
Aguero off the block and out of bounds. And I don't know if Eleonora Lobianco has any aspirations of playing on the beach, but she ought to think about it. Some just perfect bump setting from long range, and that forces the Americans to call a timeout. Still with a comfortable lead here in the fourth set, 20-14 over Italy. The United States does not want to let Italy up off the mat here. This is a position where Italy has been outplayed completely, but now starting to creep back in. If we go to a fifth set, if you're the United States, you want to know that you're the ones with the momentum, you're the ones with the confidence, and vice versa for Italy.
Certainly, you want to enter set number 5 in control of the action. So many times when teams get up by 6 or 7 points, especially once they reach 20, they sort of take a breath and relax. The United States can ill afford that.
Very nicely timeout taken by Long Ping. Aguero just handed a note, 14 kills in this match so far. That match is her tournament high, previously against Serbia. And directing traffic, the second referee, making sure all the substitution. I wish they'd get rid of that, and eventually they will. Just let the players come and go, but it's a holdover from the past very regimented style of governing the game. Gioli on the step out, blocked straight down. The Americans have done a great job of slowing down Simona Gioli, one of the best middle blockers in the game.
All of a sudden, the United States doubles its total blocks for the match. Just in game number 4, logging 5 in this game alone.
22-14 advantage. Step out once again, and maybe once, but not twice. Gioli is a very tough customer. And Lindsey Berg, the star for the United States here in this fourth set. A couple of aces to get things going. Got the Americans out to an 8-0 start and then a 9-2 advantage. Tight pass, little tap down by Barazza. And now it is 22-16. Hanif Park misses that ball out of bounds. So the United States is letting Italy back into this set with the same unforced errors that caused them to lose the opening set, and Long Ping is going to be forced to take another timeout.
Fortunately for the United States, they're going to have a hard time giving up 5 more points to tie it at 22. I think they have enough of a cushion to get through this game 4 in a couple of rough patches and head on to game 5. But as we've talked about, the all-important momentum shift now heading Italy's way as Aguero has again gotten hot, and a couple of errors coming from the U.S. side.
That fifth set played to 15 points, so the margin for error much less. Gioli continues to serve, and another shank pass from Logan Tom, who has been so solid. Glass hits that ball. It might have been outside the antenna. In any case, the linesman was waving his line marker and give the point to the United States, now just 2 points away from tying this match up at 2 sets apiece. Left side, Aguero crushes it, but just out of bounds. And now the United States with a bushel full of set points, leading 24-17.
Tremendous job by the U.S. squad in this game 4. Time to close it out.
That ball served just out of bounds. Kim Glass has got a very dangerous floater. So one set point not converted for the United States. They still lead comfortably 24-18. And that'll do it. Serve into the top of the tape. A very up and down, uneven match, but we have gotten all the way to the 15-point tiebreaker. The winner is into the medal round. The United States and Italy in their quarterfinal matchup going the distance. Italy won the opening set 25-20. The Americans right back 25-21. Italy then won 25-19. And then the Americans won 25-18. It has been a very up and down, uneven roller coaster ride for both of these coaches. There is Long Ping, an Olympic champion in 1984. The games in Los Angeles when she led the Chinese over these United States. Lindsey Berg serving again to start things off for the United States. Piccinini is stuffed straight down. A rare stuff against Francesca Piccinini.
Once again, Lindsey Berg in that serve, putting Italy off balance. And here comes the biggest block the United States can put up. Scott Ahuda and Hanif Park.
Scott Ahuda at 6'2", Taiba Hanif Park at 6'7". Quick set out of the middle, another block by Hanif Park, but mostly Scott Ahuda.
Another tremendous start for the U.S. side, taking back a little bit of that momentum they gave away towards the end of set 4.
Tight set, and it is stuffed straight down. But this is all off of the serving of Lindsey Berg, and just like he did in the last set, Italy calls a quick timeout. The United States leading in the tiebreaker 3-0. The United States absolutely rolling, and head coach Massimo Barbolini has used both of his timeouts before the 8-point side change in this 15-point tiebreaker. The United States leading 5-0.
The serving of Lindsey Berg has been superb. The United States also making plays. Scott Ahuda hammering in transition. What a great wrist away crush. And Kim Glass earlier annihilating from the left side into the hard angle. What a job by Lindsey Berg.
Santoni off the right side, Berg doing it at the defensive end as well. And Santoni finally off the block and down. And Italy is being bageled no more in this final set.
Good high flat shot from Santoni through the tops of the fingertips.
Quick set again, and the turn out of the middle. So early in this match, the United States middle attackers were getting virtually no opportunities. Now, Scott Ahuda is dominating, and Berg is doing a marvelous job.
Scott Ahuda is unstoppable. 14 of 18. Heather Bound, 6 of 16.
Quick set again, absolutely, and straight down again.
And another one to the middle. Again, this is Lindsey Berg feeding the middle, feeling the flow. No balls going to the middle early with Amos Santos in there. Berg has come in and fed those hitters, in particular Scott Ahuda. And Scott Ahuda has responded with an amazing performance.
Francesca Piccinini going to the sideline and being replaced by Manuela Secolo. Again, Massimo Barbolini's got to use subs to try to slow things down because he's already used both of his timeouts. And that float serve carries over the end line. In the 15-point tiebreaker, teams will change sides when a team reaches 8. Scott Ahuda got to the medal round in Sydney when the United States finished 4th. Right side, big swing. They're all big right now for both teams. Santoni is stuck. Logan Tom and Scott Ahuda. Teams will change sides. Americans leading 8-2. Back at Capitol Gymnasium, the United States all over Italy right now in the 5th set, and it's been all about Lindsey Berg. Serving, delivering good sets to both the middle and the outside. The United States, that score by Italy, but the Americans leading 9-3. Again, this 5th set tiebreaker to just 15 points. Cannot say enough about the play of number 4, Lindsey Berg, in her 2nd Olympic Games.
The United States with an opportunity to side themselves right into the semifinal.
Shank pass. Kim Glass, who has been very, very reliable, has that shank pass, and a timeout is taken by Long Ping. We'll be back to volleyball after the short timeout. The United States leading. Oh, we're going to stay. Sorry. The Americans leading 9-4. We will stay with this timeout.
Kim Glass has put together one of the most rounded performances of this tournament, passing at 54%, 2 stuff blocks, 6 kills. She's done a nice job stabilizing that position where there has been a rotating group of players through the pool play. Here in the quarterfinal, she has done a great job.
One of the players back from Athens when the United States finished in 5th and lost in exactly the same round. They lost in the quarterfinals. Logan Tom crushing it. Kim Glass, you knew they were going to serve her. They, being Italy, came right back with a nice delivery.
Came right back, and now the U.S. can feel it. They can taste it. A 10-4 lead. They are most assuredly going.
Aguero left side is stuck straight down. Heather Bound with yet another stuff, and it was the blocking of the Americans in the 4th set. Remember, they had 5 stuff blocks, and they've kept that going here in the 5th.
The serving became tougher, the service pressure. We talked about the serve and receive game. All of a sudden, the blocking had an easy job and came alive.
15 stuff blocks for the United States. Quick set again, crushed by Bound.
Lindsey Berg for president. Her teammates are going to jump all over her at the end of this match. She has come in and keyed this U.S. rally.
Substitution for Italy. Hanif Park back to serve. Tough floater, and it's an ace. And the United States now just 2 points away.
Italy is done. This match is over. The United States and Lindsey Berg have done it. 2 points to go for an opportunity to play for a medal.
Gioli with a kill that time, but now the United States just thinking about making 2 more good plays. Aguero, Logan Tom all over that. Quick set again. Why not? Why not? The United States lost the 3rd set 25-19. You thought Italy, ranked number 2 in the world, okay, they're the better team, and they looked like it in the 3rd set they would close them out. Now, Long Ping and the United States just 1 point away from a semifinal matchup with Cuba. Kill off the left side by Aguero. The United States won silver in '84, bronze in '92, 7th in Seoul.
The United States now just waiting for the opportunity to celebrate.
Also 7th in Atlanta. They need one more play to get back to the medal round, and there it is.
What a job by Jenny Long-Ping and her team. The critical substitution putting Lindsey Berg into the match. An amazing comeback in this match. The United States saving their best volleyball for the quarterfinals they've built through this tournament, and they're on their way.
4-time Olympian Danielle Scatahuda along with Lindsey Berg leads the way. Going the distance, the United States beats Italy 3-2. They're in the semis.